What a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. Precursor to the video. So when I make these videos, I like to play devil's advocate. I like to never tell you. I never tell you what I really think. This topic is gooped enough that I should probably explain what I think. Guess what we're talking about? Wayfair cabinets. We're talking about, ooh, can't say that. You can't say that. We're talking about ... gate. Okay? What is it? Pipe gate? Piggy gate? No, it's another type of gate you can't mention. You can't mention this type of gate on social media. Okay? You just can't do it. You get blamed. Wayfair cabinets, are they shipping kids? Here's what I think, okay? This is my hunch. I have not looked into this a bunch. I have not done the research type quality that you get on a Joe Rogan, that Joe Rogan does. I haven't looked into this in a Rogan type way. My hunch is that the Wayfair thing is noise to throw you off whatever they're gonna do to Ghislaine Maxwell, whatever they've already done to Ghislaine Maxwell, or whatever the fuck's going on with Ghislaine Maxwell. How did she even get arrested in the first place? Why wouldn't she have gone to a country that doesn't have extradition? Part of the technique, the master technique, is throwing out so much disinformation, overwhelming people with disinformation. I mean, this Wayfair thing is like just enough to get a normal person biting. Like, ooh, what's with these prices on these cabinets? Something's got to be going on here. Wayfair says that it's not a pricing glitch. They said that the prices were accurately marked. So my hunch, my suspicion is that it's being put out there. That's being put out there intentionally to distract from the Ghislaine Maxwell situation. That's my hunch. If you disagree, fine. I have not done enough research into this to care one way or the other about my opinion, not mine. It's just my hunch. So most of this video, I'm picking apart this article, and I think it's valuable either way, no matter what you think, because the way these articles are written it's so strange and it's so dishonest. And if you're not already woke to weasel words and paying attention to the way that people bend the truth and put these non-truths out there, it's a good video. It's a good 6-hour-long video. So this is a follow focus, and this is like a couple $1,000s. This is the wireless monitor. It's a couple $1,000s. This is a $1,000 battery. Now we need to make this so that these two link together. This is a bar. The bar is adjustable like this. And this is a slider thing. So how do you make them fit? How do you get it to work together? So what we need is a bracket. Okay. Everything here is organized in bins. Everything's organized. Good to go. We got all these bins. This makes it easy. So we need a bracket now. This right here looks promising because the loop goes around the bar. But where do these go? Not in there. Not gonna fit. Not gonna fit. So what are we left with? This looks interesting. I'll tell you right now, as much as I want this piece to fit, I don't think this is what we need. Okay, this one. Now this is interesting because a bar goes through it, but as you can see, not it. This obviously has a hole for the bar, but once again, oh wait, does that actually work? Yes, sir. Okay, it looks like I don't have the part. I guess we're not making a video today. Remember, you gotta buy the little... I could have sworn that I had one. Now I know it's not this thing right here. The Ronin 2 gimbal. I know it's not that. So that's it. I hope you liked the filmmaking tutorial. I hope that a lot of you out there are ready to go out. Just go out there and start shooting. Just go out there and have fun. Thank you. Pizzagate. Pizzagate is a Pizzagate. Pizzagate. Let's talk about it. If you have a YouTube channel, if you have Facebook, if you have Twitter, any sort of social media presence or account, you will get taken down. You will get banned. You will get banished. You will get exiled from the playpen, the virtual playpen, if you start talking about Pizzagate and you get any sort of attention, okay? Now, that is, to me, that's the hallmark of when something is completely fabricated and untrue, you get banished from Facebook for talking about it. That makes sense to me. We do not want our little YouTube safe haven taken out, okay? If we have our YouTube taken down, if we have our Twitter taken down, where are the protesters going to learn? Where you go get a medic? Get a medic. At this point, we cannot afford to be deplatformed. So we're going to say that on this channel, the official stance of this channel is that Pizzagate is an unfounded conspiracy theory put forth by Russian trolls, right-wing ultranationalists, and KKK white neo-Nazis, which there are many of. Oftentimes, I've seen many times KKK members roaming around in white hoods. I've seen that on the streets, so I know it's real. Pizzagate, unfounded conspiracy theory, neo-Nazi KKK shit, my friends. You heard it here first. It is neo-Nazi, unfounded KKK shit, and this platform, we're not getting deplatformed. This YouTube channel, this Twitter account, not going anywhere. Pizzagate's not real. We are going to draw attention to how fake and how blown out of proportion and ridiculous this Russian troll KKK Nazi conspiracy theory is. They fucking drill shit into your head with language. You know what I mean? And like the KKK thing. KKK. I've never in my life seen a KKK member. It's from movies. That shit is from movies. But you hear about the KKK all the time. 8 years. And black people think that shit is like pandemic. That the KKK is like this thing that it's like a real thing. Like you go out in the street, you're gonna see a KKK member. One thing I feel really bad about with black people, for real, and I'm not gonna get into a 45-minute video about how I feel bad for black people, okay? Because I already made that video. It's called My Whole Life. You know my record. You know what I'm about. But the one thing this is very serious, and there are certain things that are fucked up that make me sad, and they're not funny. And one of them is how fucking black people, black kids in school, getting drilled into their head about slavery. When I was in school, which was in the 90s, it seemed like every fucking thing they would talk about was fucking slavery. Slavery and the Holocaust. Slavery. You were a slave. They were slaves. They were slaves. They whipped him. They hit him with whips. And they tore his back up. White teacher. And that was the founding father of this nation. Slavery is not unique to black people. Slavery is a thing that is like, the entire history of humanity is linked with slavery. It's like a thing that everybody did. You know, there were white slaves. There was the Berber, what's it called? Slave trade? What is this bullshit? It's called Barbary slave trade. The white slaves of Barbary. And then, of course, the first link is something trying to debunk this. I don't know the figures. If you want the actual figures, you got to look this up. But there were 1 million white slaves on the coast of North Africa. What race of people hasn't been a slave? The word slave comes from Slavic, which is like fucking. Look, man, we could talk about this all day. There's something specifically like evil about them drilling that into black kids' heads. That's not an accident. It's not an accident that they're like brainwashing black kids into thinking that they're like this cosmically oppressed class. And now it's part of like black, now that's like a huge part of black culture is like how much you can suffer. Like we were suffering, we suffered the whole thing. We suffered 100 years of this. And then when it was 100 years of pulling our toenails out. Like that's the thing they take pride in. They take pride in like, I remember one time Auntie, she used to hit me with the switch. And it was back then, boy. And that was, we suffered. Yeah, that's right, Pops. That's right, Pops. We've been suffering for 150 goddamn years, and there ain't gonna be no side of it. It's been 2,000 years. It's not really funny. It's like, it's just the same mind control shit that they're doing everywhere. I mean, they're trying to fucking turn white guys into fucking women. Black people, you're up next. Hey, Black trans lives matter. All the woke brothers, get ready for that. They got fucking all the NFL stars wearing dresses. What's that about, huh? Jeez. Here's a hint. It's not white people doing that. The sound of gum. Anyway, you can't talk about anything directly or openly now. You have to, everything has to be veiled and obscured and hinted at, and even then you'll get accused of dog whistling. One of those words, that's like a nautical sailboat. You're sailboating right now. You're puffing the sails right now, friend. Back off on that. Reel in your jibs. Like, what is it? The journalists are such faggots, man. He's dog whistling pretty hard. Fuck you, faggot. He's pinwheeling. He's whirligigging. He's helicoptering. He's flapping his wings right now. The mind of a journalist is like a fucking carnival of garbage. We cannot talk about this Pizzagate stuff. If we talk about it, then we'll be throwing fuel on the fire. We're throwing fuel on the fire. That's one of those terms, man. Think about just anytime you hear something, train your ears to go, huh? Yeah, we wanted to have this whole freedom of speech thing. We wanted to be able to talk about the problems that are eventually going to boil over into violence, but we can't talk about the shit that is leading up to this violence. Look, man, I get the boiling frog thing. You have to slowly inch the Overton window to the right so that nobody gets wise to it. But we cannot openly discuss the things that are going to eventually lead to gruesome violence. So we have to talk about it in code. So Pizzagate's not real. Pizzagate is fake. It is a conspiracy theory. It is unfounded. And if we talk about it, we'll be throwing fuel on the fire. Okay, the founding fathers, they wanted free speech. If only you could get a time machine and send a NYU journalism grad student back in time to the founding of the country and explain to the founding fathers that certain types of speech would be throwing fuel on the fire, they would probably go, oh my God, we didn't even think about it that way. Throwing fuel on the fire? Oh, you're right. The First Amendment, we need to put in a clause that you can't throw fuel on the fire. Your suspicion of a secret crime is hateful. The R.I.P. Epstein shirt got taken down from Shopify, and the reason why it got taken down from Shopify was for bullying. Think about that for a second. Shopify, and this is not like some low-level thing where some Indian customer service guy was alerted to the image and saw it and said, oh, this looks like it is a problem. I will take it off Shopify. No. This was elevated several levels. We had almost $100,000 seized. We had the customer information was not released. We talked on the phone with Shopify people for hours. We were elevated up like, I'll get my supervisor. No, I'll get my supervisor. We finally got someone who did not have a supervisor. They didn't send us off to a supervisor. And they told us that it was taken down for bullying. The R.I.P. Epstein shirt for bullying a dead person. And the MDE, the old school MDE web store, which ran on Shopify that I hadn't touched in years, hadn't logged into, was taken down. Account closed, banished. Can't log in, can't see customer information, can't refund people, can't anything. Nope. Okay? And someone who was associated with us, who had helped us sell shit, got their Shopify taken down. So this was not like Indian fucking, this looks like a violation of the terms of service, I must take it down. No. And now that I know that with that graphic, we were throwing fuel on the fire and leading to a situation where potentially a white supremacist could have opened fire at a mass shooting event at an innocent pizza shop, a randomly selected pizza shop. There was no rhyme or reason to the selection of the pizza shop. They just don't like pizza. Now, I'm going to go out there and say, I don't want to because we're not getting this YouTube channel taken down. I deny Pizzagate's validity. I deny that it's real. I say that it is unfounded conspiracy theory. Here's the thing. The other people saying this sound so stupid. And the angle that they take, because you can't look at this mountain of shit. I haven't looked at it since 2016. There was so much, or 2017, or whenever the last time it was popping off, before it got completely wiped off, memory hold. There was a time between the end of that Pizzagate thing and the Jeffrey Epstein thing where Pizzagate was just over. At least that's what I saw. I wasn't on like 8chan or any of the 4chan or any of the websites wherever they're digging shit up. I wasn't actively looking for it. I was just checking my Twitter feed. There was a point where it went from peak Pizzagate info, new shit coming out every day, crazy shit coming out all the time, to between that point and between the Epstein point, it went dead silent on normie social media, which is where I stay. Accounts talking about it, banned. That shit happened quickly. That was very coordinated. That was impressively coordinated. That was suspiciously coordinated. You know what's weird is Twitter can't, if there's like some ISIS Twitter account, or if you're on YouTube and there's baby Elsa eating poop and chasing Joker and biting his penis and all this stuff, these things that should not be around, when they take them down, they'll eventually get off their ass and take them down if there's enough of an outcry. But it's never lightning fast. It's never coordinated like it was when they took down all the Pizzagate shit. That shit was very impressively coordinated. Now I'm saying that it should be the case because it's an unfounded conspiracy theory, unfounded, unconfirmed conspiracy theory, hateful, that throws fuel on the fire, and we have to stop it before random pizza places are getting shot up everywhere. But they were impressive when they took them down. The coordination of the Pizzagate shutdown was impressive. And I'm saying that's a good thing. Good job. So let's talk about this article. Let's talk about this Wayfair shit. Crazy Wayfair. QAnon. Now, is this a diversion? Is this something that's thrown out there to divert attention from Ghislaine Maxwell? Let's see. Who's the Wayfair CEO? Here's the thing. I was debating doing this video because I saw it and I said, you know what, that's still so QAnon-y. I'm going to skip over that. This Wayfair stuff, there's no way they're trafficking children with cabinets. There's no way that they're selling these cabinets and that's the price of the child. Okay, that's a joke. That's a joke. You kidding me, buddy? You kidding me? This is what you spend your time doing? I read the New York Times. I read the Atlantic. I read New York Magazine. Okay? I read articles written by like Indian professors like Niraj Patabjab, and he tells me that the economy, that people being jobless is actually a good thing for the economy because it's 2020, okay? And he tells, this guy, listen, Dr. Anthony Fauci is the most esteemed medical professional I've ever heard of. I mean, this guy's written, I personally read his papers. I can vouch for him. This retarded ass idea that authority, that a position of authority means fucking anything. Retarded ass. Fluoride ass. You fucking you don't even drink tap water. You eat the whole fucking tube of toothpaste with your fucking retard ass. If you think a doctor knows shit, except for how to fucking fix a broken bone, except for how to set a cast, okay? How to put on a Band-Aid. That's what I'll trust a doctor to do. The last time I went to a doctor, I went for back pain, which I don't have anymore because I fixed it my fucking self. Now my back's so strong, I could eat a piece of human shit. Won't feel a thing. But the last time I was at a doctor, I went for back pain. Guy says to me, we can give you painkillers, and if those don't work, we'll get you surgery. That is all-star advice. I go into a place, I'm paying fucking $600 a month for health insurance. I'm paying hundreds of dollars for a fucking doctor's visit that I have to set up weeks in advance. I wait in line for an hour and a half. I use the little self-help kiosk. There's a lady at the desk picking her disgusting fingernails. She tells me, you got to use the self-help kiosk. I use the self-help kiosk. I go in, and the thousands of dollars spent on health insurance and the hours waiting and the time setting it up, and the end result is you can have painkillers that'll jam you up forever, or we can get you surgery so that you can't ever move properly again, so that you'll have pain forever, and you'll probably need the painkillers. So I just wasted a bunch of your time and money, and my offer is I can fuck you up. And then the guy sticks his hand in my waistband of my underwear. Real story. 50-year-old Jewish guy starts to stick it, try to get my balls. I said, well, what are you doing? He said, oh, that's optional. That's optional. He didn't explain what it was. I wasn't assertive enough to be like, what are you talking about? It's optional. What are you doing? I was in my 20s. I was like, I wasn't assertive. I still trusted I still thought maybe a doctor would know what he's talking about. What you don't know is that they've read the studies. They've gone on LexisNexis, and they pay for an account, and they've looked at the studies and research and field work that Dr. Anthony Fauci has done, and they've verified it with their scientific eyes. They've used their science eyes to verify that the science is accurate. So they know, okay? Thanks. They didn't just see his name on the lower third of TV and hear someone say, you should trust him. This is literally cigarette ad type shit. Like cigarette ads, this is like a thing for whatever reason, but back in the 90s when I was growing up, cigarette advertising was like very fertile ground for comedy, and all the Onion type people and everybody who was funny would make jokes about how, I'm a doctor, you should take this cigarette. We recommend Marlboro brand. These are the best cigarettes. The shit happening right now is the same tier of brainlessness. Like, people believing anything, it's just the same as believing what cigarette companies say. This cigarette contributes to a healthy respiratory system. The people watching TV right now buying hook, line, and sinker everything that's being said. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as me watching a fucking Lucky Strike, reading a Lucky Strike ad in a magazine or something, and being like, oh, this looks like this is a good choice for me. I think I'll go with Lucky Strike man. I'm a Lucky Strike man. I'm an Anthony Fauci man. I'm a Dr. Fauci man. I'll go with that Anthony Fauci. He looks like he knows what he's talking about. I trust him because I've read the science. Because I know the science. As a matter of fact, human life doesn't begin until the baby is born. So if you stick a knife up a woman's pussy and rip the fetus out, you know what? That's not taking a human life. As a matter of fact, if a woman is pregnant and you shove a double-barreled shotgun up her uterus and pull the trigger and blow the fetus into smithereens and she survives, you didn't commit murder, my friend, because that's not a life. No, sirree, that is not a life. The idea that a little tiny human, shaped like a fucking human, with a human fucking face, it looks like a mini baby, The idea that that's not a life, I don't even care. Fucking abort it, kill it, whatever. Do whatever you want. Stick a knife up your fucking pussy, you dumb bitch. Fucking stick a hanger up there. Stick a fucking coat hanger up there and pull the fetus out, you stupid retarded cunt. Do whatever you gotta do. I don't care. I don't care about your retarded kid, you fat bitch. You think I care? You think I care about some fat crackhead's dumb fucking baby that's gonna grow up to be a crackhead? Fuck you. Yo, my God, man. And I understand the moment the sperm touches the egg, that's whatever. Think what you want about that. I'm talking about the thing that it actually looks like a fucking baby. Okay, I'm talking about that thing. It's just a clump of cells. How are these people walking around? How do they walk around without sticking their fingers in an electrical socket? Or walking into traffic, putting their head under a truck tire? Oh, man. That's why language is so important, because language is what is used to shift the Overton window without you knowing about it. Language is what's used to justify horrendous crimes. Anytime you start hearing words where you haven't heard them in a while, not necessarily words you have to look up what they mean, but words like unnecessarily unwieldy. This is the thing. You can imagine someone in a back room somewhere going, yeah, that's what we should call it. Like weapons of mass destruction. Weapons of mass destruction. That's the term that was used to sell the 10 or 15, however many years of taking our best young men, sending them over, getting them PTSD, getting them burnt out, getting them alcoholic, blowout, getting them fucked up. That's the term that was used to sell that. Weapons of mass destruction. Well, they have weapons of mass destruction. That sounds crazy. Weapons of mass. I've never heard of that before. I've heard of bombs. I've heard of nuclear weapons. I've heard of machine guns. What's a weapon of mass destruction? All right, so I don't know what to think about the Wayfair cabinet scandal, cabinet gate. Is this just to throw the attention off Ghislaine Maxwell with a shooter in the head, or is this a legitimate thing? Well, I don't know. Okay, and I'm not looking into it. I'm not going on these fucking websites to look into it. That's for you. So you're gonna have to do your own research on that. But I do want to talk about this, okay? Because Pizzagate is an unfounded, unconfirmed, uncircumcised. What I want to do with this channel, that's not going to get deplatformed now because I'm a believer in the fact that it's not real. What I want to do is I want to help out the people who write these articles debunking it, okay? No, actually, there's no Pizzagate happening in the basement of a randomly selected pizza parlor. This is my message to Snopes, my message to other people who also don't believe that Pizzagate is real. When you're writing these fucked up articles, it sounds like you're lying. Okay, so I have to help you now. Okay, so regular Hyde Wars audience, don't watch this part. This video right now is strictly for people who want to debunk Pizzagate. Okay, we're debunking it. I'm going to help you piece together your arguments so you don't sound retarded, so you don't sound like you're lying. Okay. Newsweek, and what I want to do is I want to go through this article, and this is directed at Andrew Whalen, and I want to help you next time you are debunking Pizzagate, which is very important to do because we can't have these basically neo-Nazis, like an army of neo-Nazis going around saluting Adolf Hitler and shooting up random pizza parlors. We can't have that happening, so I have to help you right now. Andrew Whalen, we're going to help you earn your $25 an hour, whatever pathetic amount of money you whore your soul out for. Kids shipped in armoires? That's the voice that you're supposed to read that in. I asked him, I checked in with him, I emailed him actually, and he said that's actually the voice that I used when I wrote that. I don't think it's important what the kids are shipped in. Right off the bat, we're starting with an untruth. Almost every other word, all the highlighted stuff in this article, I went through and I just highlighted every little linguistic maneuver, every little weasel. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to trick the reader. I'm going to say something differently than if I was saying it honestly. I'll show you. They're taking the truth and altering the word and making it mean something completely differently. while covering their ass. Here's the truth.
I think I'll pick one. I'll pick one little word and make it do that.
You fucking retard. That's what you live for? That's the size of your life? That's the greatest thing you can think of. Pulling off the ultimate heist.
Take the truth, change one word, make it mean something different.
Right off the bat, he's strawmanning. He's changing it. The argument, the idea, the suspicion is that the listings for armoires are listings for human trafficking. It's somehow that's how you pay for the human trafficking. That's what the suspicion is. It's not even an allegation. It's just some Reddit user seeing this price glitch, noticing that the names of the armoires match the names of kidnapped children, and saying, "What's up with this?" So there's no like definitive statement, like they're shipping them in armoires. So the first thing in the article, kids shipped in armoires, is a straw man meant to make it look ridiculous. You're shipping children in armoires? What, you're telling me that these Wayfair cabinets are overpriced and they have the names of child trafficking victims? Oh, so you think that I can just go on with my credit card and order one of these cabinets and a kid will show up outside my door in an Uber? Okay, that's ridiculous. Just say people suspect something up with these armoire prices, these cabinet prices. It's not even armoires. Why would he say armoire? God damn, man, what a weasel. It's cabinets, it's not armoires. So he threw the word armoires in there to make it spicier, to make it more like steampunk, more interesting, more of a flourish, more ridiculous. So you think they're raping kids wearing top hats? Yeah, right. The person who started the Wayfair conspiracy speaks. The person who started the Wayfair conspiracy speaks. Okay, so started the conspiracy. This implies that it's a person, an actor, out there sitting at a computer, acting, fabricating something from whole cloth, making some inventing some story. Like I'm sitting here writing Star Wars, the 12th part sequel. I am starting this. I'm starting Star Wars 12. I'm starting this conspiracy. No, that's not what happened. Someone noticed some weird prices and made a post asking what's good with this. That's not starting a conspiracy. That's noticing something online, you faggot. And right off the bat, jumping into using the word conspiracy, which I'll use that liberally because it's an easy way to talk about it. Maybe I shouldn't use it. But that word has negative connotation. And, you know, this guy would never talk about, if they were talking about something with Trump, with Russian bots, some bullshit about Donald Trump retweeted an account with 50 bot followers. That shit they were trying to make happen for years and still are trying to make happen. The Russian bots. Oh, Trump got elected based on Russian bots. Like if this faggot was writing about that, he would not say conspiracy. At no point would he talk about the Russian bot conspiracy, unless it was used in a way to malign Trump. If he was talking about the idea that Russian bots are the reason why Trump got elected, there was no way in hell he would call that a conspiracy. He'd probably call that a fucking fact. A new conspiracy theory surrounding products advertised by the home goods and furniture seller Wayfair now joins previous unsubstantiated allegations like Pizzagate regarding worldwide pedophilic sex trafficking among the economic elite. So again, we got conspiracy theory. It's a KKK conspiracy theory. You hear that echoing in your head, even though he doesn't say it, because conspiracy theories, those are white supremacist inventions. Now joins. What's up with now joins? Right here, Wayfair, now joins. The Wayfair conspiracy theory now joins previous unsubstantiated allegations. So I'm already at ease when I read this. I'm already much more peaceful, much more at rest, because it's good to know The new thing that I don't even have to worry about whether this is real, because it's already in the dust bin of history. It's already in the past because it has now joined the previous, okay? And it's now joining unsubstantiated. So I know right off the bat that I can be calm. I don't have to worry about this. Whatever this article is about, it's something in the past and it's unsubstantiated. Wayfair now joins. So in your head, I want you to imagine two things. I want you to imagine Wayfair cabinets, fishy. What's up with this? What's going on? Why are they priced so high? Why do they have names of kidnapping victims? Huh? And then I want you to imagine something that's a previous unsubstantiated allegation. Sounds pretty flimsy already, right? A previous unsubstantiated allegation. That sounds like something I don't even want to waste my time with. The fishy thing is now joining that. It's joining it. It's now joining it. So you don't worry about it. It's done. It's done. It's joined. I can't do anything about it now. It's been joined. Previously, it's already there. It's in the pile of unsubstantiated allegations. And then the word unsubstantiated. And I love this. Can you fucking imagine if Pizzagate were substantiated? It would be a worldwide crisis like you've never imagined. There would be fucking bombs going off. There would be states at war with each other. If Pizzagate were substantiated, this guy would be in a bunker somewhere or looking for a bunker, sucking dick for gasoline. Andrew Whalen, that's what you would be doing if Pizzagate were substantiated. You'd be sucking dick to stay in someone's bomb shelter. Unsubstantiated allegations like Pizzagate, as if Pizzagate's one allegation. I remember Pizzagate. That was that one unsubstantiated allegation. All right, next paragraph here. The Wayfair conspiracy theory that became a social media sensation. Okay, so the Wayfair conspiracy theory, we're dropping that again. The conspiracy theory. That's one thing I do when I'm writing something, when I'm writing like Jaihu or for How to Bombs. I'll do a pass through and see what I've repeated, because that's makes you seem like a 9-year-old when you say something twice. The man went up the stairs, and then coming up the stairs, like saying something twice. I thought the music was good, and then I listened to it. It was good. It sounded good. This guy's got 2 paragraphs where the third and fourth words are conspiracy theory. A conspiracy theory, the Wayfair conspiracy theory, like he didn't even proofread this. But that's probably, he probably did proofread this. That's simple repetition for people with double-digit IQ. Became a social media sensation on Friday, began with a post to the conspiracy subreddit, which promotes user-submitted conspiracy theories. So this is as opposed to groundbreaking journalism. These are user-submitted, okay? This is important to reiterate here. This is user-submitted, okay? This is not a doctor. This is not a Harvard-educated doctor. This is not an MIT top guy, top scientist, top climate scientist. This is a schlub, a schlemiel, okay? This is a gooblum, okay? You read the Torah, you read the Talmud, you learn about how there's the skubini, the kazuz, and the sgublum. And the kabzooms, they are the ruling class. They are ordained by God. They are chosen. The shlublums and the gublums and the dublums, these are the gublums that get circumcised. And why am I getting gum? You want to hear me chewing gum? Probably because I said circumcised. I was thinking about it. These people are so high on themselves. Their opinion for you is right there. It's self-evident. It's right there in user-submitted. Do you have a PhD? Are you a lawyer? Have you gone to a communist academy? Have you dedicated 10 years of your life to the communist brainwashing farm? No. You're a user. You're a user. And anything you submit is user-submitted. You work. You have a family. What are you, a maintenance worker? You a plumber? You work with your hands? You know a trade? Big fuck you, because you're a user. Opposed to all the amazing, groundbreaking journalism that has brought light to the Jeffrey Epstein situation. The Jeffrey Epstein situation that everybody knew about for 20 years. Users submitted, unlike the credentialed, exhaustive research from these journalists, the credentialed research that cracked the case with the decades of kid raping in Hollywood. Oh, wait a second. Something's not adding up. User submitted. That's you. You are not authorized to investigate. Many thinly evidenced or unevidenced. So you don't even need to know the substance of the arguments here, okay? Do not look into Pizzagate. Do not look into Wayfair cabinets, because many of them, I'll save you the time, many are thinly evidenced or unevidenced to more than 1 million subscribers. So it's to more than 1 million subscribers. So this is dangerous. This is a wildfire. This is a clear example of freedom of speech becoming fuel on the fire. This is a clear example of freedom of speech going out of hand when you have more than 1 million people believing it. But if it was a couple hundred or a couple thousand people, then he would paint it the other way. He would say it's a fringe crackpot thing that only 2,000 people even bother reading about. So either way, it's bad. You have too many, it's dangerous. There's too many. There's 1 million people, over 1 million users. You're telling me you have a megaphone that big and you're spreading this irresponsible information? You're out of your mind, buddy. You're telling me there's 2,000 people? There's only 1,500 people? This can't possibly be real. It's a bunch of crackpots, a bunch of people, a bunch of hoarders. What's the right amount of subscribers to have if you're doing citizen journalism? Many thinly evidenced or unevidenced. Can you imagine the faggoty look on his face when he wrote that? The original thing here, from Redditor Princess Peach, 1987. If Andrew Whalen even has the story and the timeline right, which I'd be surprised if he did. But this is what set it off. Is it possible Wayfair involved in human trafficking with their WFX utility collection? Or are these just extremely overpriced cabinets? Note the names of the cabinets. This makes me sick to my stomach if it's true. Redditor Princess Peach, 1987, posted on Thursday, alongside a screenshot from Wayfair's mobile website featuring 4 storage cabinets, products named Naraya, Yaritza, Samaya, and Olivia that cost between $12,699 and $14,499. This is not the complete malicious wholesale fabrication of a crackpot conspiracy theory that this guy wants you to think it is. Here's what happened. A person on Reddit went, "What's this? Thing that should cost a couple $100 marked for $15,000 with a name, a girl's name. What's this?" That's just noticing something weird. That is basic human behavior. Don't let these people convince you that the basic human behavior, these fucking assholes, they'll pull out pattern recognition. Our primitive human brains are made to recognize patterns. When you notice that 1 + 2 = 3, your brain is just telling you something that's from the Stone Age. This is from the cavemen days. If you notice that all armed robbers wear masks, your brain is just recognizing some pattern that you would have helped you in the Stone Age, but in modern times, it only leads to these crazy fuel on the fire situations. Looking at a $15,000 steel cabinet and wondering what is up with that. Newsweek reached out to Wayfair regarding the human trafficking conspiracy theories, including a request for an explanation of the high-priced items. The company provided this statement in response. There is, of course, no truth to these claims. So that's what I say when I'm lying, just so you know, if you ever want to catch me in a lie. If I say, of course, if I type out comma, of course, comma, I'm lying. That's me, though. That's not Wayfair. Wayfair does not operate like that. There is no truth to these claims. The products in question are industrial-grade cabinets that are accurately priced. Now, everybody else anyone who believes in this Pizzagate crap, turn this off right now, okay? Anybody who's watching Hyde Wars for fun of it, turn this off. This is directed strictly at Wayfair and Andrew Whalen, who I know are watching, because I'm giving you advice, because I'm trying to help you debunk these racists. The products in question are industrial-grade cabinets that are accurately priced. You should not have said that. You are now painted into a corner of having to justify a $15,000 price tag on a steel cabinet, when in fact it would make much more sense to say something about shipping bots, a computer error, the decimal was moved over, the pricing was wrong, like whatever. We have a lot of suppliers on our website and they work with bots and it's got listed wrong. You should have said something like that. Saying that the cabinets are priced accurately, that is now a problem because they're not priced accurately. Let's see what the top of the line cabinets are. Industrial grade cabinets. We will go to Nationwide Industrial Supply, Grainger, Global Industrial. Top results. Let's see. We got Standard Industrial. That's too cheap. These are not standard cabinets. These are the Rolls-Royce of cabinets. We got Heavy Duty Visual Storage, Standard, Deluxe. That might be the one. Jumbo. Extra heavy duty, lockable, extra heavy duty. All right, let's check out super extra heavy duty. Check out deluxe. Those sound expensive to me. Here we go. We got the various widths and sizes, the heights, 78 inches tall, $718. So this website where I'm getting them, actually, you know what? Right now, I think I might cancel this video and buy some of these cabinets and flip them. Because there's obviously a pricing glitch on this website. This super heavy duty one, this is $865, $730, $1,047. So these are 15 times cheaper than they should be. So I should probably cut this video and spend all my money buying these cabinets and then flip them for $10,000. So Wayfair coming out and saying that they're industrial grade cabinets that are accurately priced, it's probably bad. Probably should not have done that. Because I don't know if you can even buy a cabinet for $15,000. And I would have been willing to accept that it was a bot, glitch, shipping error, website error, stating to the news, coming out saying that these are accurately priced. That is now a problem because they are not accurately priced. Recognizing that the photos and descriptions provided by the supplier did not adequately explain the high price. But so Wayfair is contacted. Okay, I see what's happening here. So Newsweek contacted Wayfair and said, "Hey, are you selling children?" No. The problem was that the photos and descriptions didn't explain the price. So Wayfair right now is saying, actually, you know what? We are glad that this conspiracy was invented out of thin air. Now we've been alerted to the fact that our premium grade, diamond level, ultra class, super heavy duty, platinum coated storage cabinets that are accurately priced don't have good enough photos and descriptions. Thank you. So don't worry about it, Reddit. Once you see the new photos, once you get a load of how these cabinets look under the perfect lighting, all your worries are gonna go bye-bye, because you're gonna be financing a cabinet. We have temporarily removed the products. Why? There's nothing wrong with them. Just update the photos and descriptions. What if some industrial grade person needs to buy one in the meantime and knows there's no harm in leaving the post up? Why take it down? These are money makers. These are big money. These are big ticket items. These are the Mac Daddy $15,000 cabinets. You cannot afford to have these off the website for one day. What I'm wondering is when they're going to be reposted. When are these $15,000 accurately priced cabinets going to go back up with the new photos? Nothing
secret or fishy ever happens. The only things that ever happen are things that are talked about on the news by authorities, by Dr. Anthony Fauci. I want to see the new photos and descriptions. Who's going to write the descriptions? Is the description going to be really like eloquent or what? Like, what's going on? I can't wait. How long is it going to take? I wonder if I'll never hear about this again. I wonder if everybody who posts about this on Twitter and Facebook gets their account taken down or gets a warning and the post removed. I wonder if that'll happen. I wonder if you type Wayfair in right now where your name goes on a list. That stuff's now that's talking conspiracy theory. Now that's big conspiracy theory. Now you're talking crazy. Now you're talking crackpot. You know what? The idea that people in power use that power to preserve that power, lawfully or unlawfully, that's crazy. Put your head in an oven. Kill yourself right now if you think that's the case. If you think that people do surreptitious, secretive things to gain power, to maintain power, for fun, for whatever reason, if you think that human nature includes the capacity to be dishonest, something is wrong with you. Drive into a wall at 120 miles an hour in a Mercedes. Michael Hastings, crackpot, conspiracy theorist. Bye-bye, fuckhead. Look him up, Michael Hastings. Horrible guy. We've removed the products until we can accurately depict the product to clarify the price point. That is what everybody was in an uproar about, was we were not clear on the price point. That's why I was freaking out. That's me personally. I wasn't clear on the price point. I didn't know. Like, when I see prices that are unfair, I freak out. I start posting on our conspiracy. I start posting on 8chan. I go crazy when I see a price that's out of whack. So knowing that they're going to clarify the price point and not why the fucking cabinets are named after kidnapped kids, they do it like IKEA. So, you know how you go to IKEA, you can get a bed that's the Elgrund bed, or the Geblockskar cabinet, or the Skubnats chair. So here's the deal, and I know this firsthand because I talked to Wayfair. I talked to their head of operations, Bill Hutchison. Here's the deal. We've got these industrial cabinets. They're top of the line. $15,000 for a cabinet. Better than any cabinet anyone's ever done. The type of people who order industrial cabinets, they're not going to want to see, extra heavy-duty, double seam welded, 2mm thick panel, 5-shelf cabinet. That's boring to them. Someone who runs a shipping warehouse or a machine shop or something where they're going to need one of these cabinets, they want an accurate product description that says, oh, that's the Naraya cabinet. I work with my hands. My hands are covered in mineral oil, grease, aluminum shavings. I can't buckle my pants. I'm a factory worker. So when I'm thinking product that I want to buy, I'm thinking Samiya, Naraya, Taniqua. Thanks to Wayfair PR, we know that this is not a glitch. This is intentional. They just didn't have good enough photos and descriptions. I don't know if this is fucking real. Whatever. But I do know that that Wayfair company representative told Newsweek that the prices were accurate. He didn't explain why the cabinet's called the Michael Jackson cabinet. So the cabinets are accurately priced, and they're supposed to be called the Chiniqua, the Naraya, whatever. That's very strange. Why would they call it the Tamiya? Does not make any sense. The marketing people, they're not retarded. The bigwigs, the product designers, the marketing scum, the $65,000 a year retard marketing scum, they're sitting there, they're saying, okay, so we got these top-of-the-line cabinets. We want our customers to be able to find them. SEO is everything. This is a web store. This is a web company. SEO is the most important thing to our business. If we don't have good SEO, we'll go under immediately. We don't accidentally call shit the wrong name here. If you do, you get fired. It at least gets mentioned if someone asks about it. If I ran a web store and someone fucked up SEO on a product, they'd be fired. Now, in fairness, they do have an IKEA-style naming structure where they name shit with names. But still, the fuck is this product? What the fuck is this? Continuing on. The conspiracy theory. The conspiracy theory has been elaborated on other social media platforms, particularly Twitter, expanding on the original post and its assertion that very expensive or overpriced cabinets with human names is in itself evidence of human trafficking conducted more or less in the open, with Wayfair offering humans for sale under the guise of selling cabinets. One paragraph! Sentence! Bitch! That's what he says after he writes that. He goes, yeah, that's what I'm talking about! Yeah! Yeah, now that's what I'm talking about. One paragraph sentence, bitch! Woo! He's getting horny. This guy's getting horny for his punishing run-on sentences. Oh, and he starts off, just so you know, we're starting this one off. I just want to reiterate how he starts off. The conspiracy theory! In case you didn't understand that this is not to be given credibility. Expanding on the original post and its assertion that very expensive or overpriced cabinets with human names is in itself evidence, with Wayfair offering humans for sale under the guise of selling cabinetry. It's all little things. It's all little murders. Death by 1,000 cuts. That is how the linguistic shit is done. There's no magic where you can tell a bald-faced lie and make someone believe it. You have to slowly chisel away, Chinese water torture, slowly break people down until they have Stockholm syndrome, until they're so tired of hearing you say conspiracy theory, that conspiracy theory, until it has a rhythm to it, till the word has like a shape to it in your mind, and you think to yourself, oh, I've heard this before. All that QAnon bullshit, all that Alex Jones bullshit, the reptiles. Fuck this. Under the guise of selling cabinetry. The end of this paragraph. Under the guise of selling cabinetry. Why is this? What's important about this? It's dismissive. It's this hallmark of journalists, people in New York, urbanites. I'm not going to say this dismissive cleverness. Cleverness is... You don't want to be clever. Cleverness is a female trait, a feminine trait. Cleverness is a weapon used by the physically weak. The point of cleverness is to make it so that a weaker beta, can strip down an alpha and give himself a chance to propagate his genes. That's where cleverness comes in. Cleverness is entirely a mechanism for propagating beta genes. If you find yourself being clever all the time, fucking stop. Cleverness, there's nothing good about cleverness. It is for faggots. So this last line, this is like something from Family Guy. This is like a Family Guy punchline. Did you hear? They were doing it under the guise of selling cabinetry. This is straight up stand-up comedy. Now it doesn't sound like there's anything here. I promise you though, the point of writing that is to make it so that this whole thing in your mind reading it feels like a stand-up comedy setup, feels like a sketch comedy, feels like an Onion article, under the guise of selling cabinetry. Oh, you think there's some shadowy cabal under the guise of selling cabinetry? So you're telling me that you did a bunch of terrible stuff under the guise of selling cabinetry? This is like the Onion. Can you believe the stuff they're coming up with online? Can you believe what they're saying on Reddit? What they're making up whole cloth from thin air, elaborating on. And at the end of the day, it's under the guise of selling cabinetry. Kids shipped in armoires? You know that thing your grandma has in her room, that big old armoire? Well, they think that they're shipping kids in them. In chat conversations with Newsweek, in chat conversations, you don't need to say chat conversations. Andrew Whalen, who nobody fucking will ever give a shit about. Andrew Whalen, your own family, you're interchangeable. You could vanish tomorrow and nobody would really care that much about you. Andrew Whalen, who? You have nothing. Nobody cares about you. In chat conversations, you can say in conversations or in chats. You don't need to say in chat conversations because you sound like a bimbo. This guy writes for Newsweek? Isn't that a magazine that comes printed on paper? Isn't that like a thing? Newsweek? This isn't like some blog. This is written so poorly. Fuck! In chat conversations with Newsweek, Princess Peach 1987 described seeking out, and he says, and this is another thing, he keeps saying Princess Peach 1987. Like, I'm sure, of course, Princess Peach 1987 did not want to disclose her full name, obviously. But she could have used an alias. She could have said, who knows what she said to this guy in their conversation. She could have said, for the purposes of our conversation, for the purposes of your article, call me Jennifer. He could have said, at the beginning of this, a Redditor who we'll call Jennifer, but he keeps saying Princess Peach 1987. And the whole point of that is to make it so that for those of you who are not serious Redditors, who are Newsweek readers, that this sounds like a bunch of fake shit. Yeah, we got a hot tip. We got a hot tip on the crime of the century from Star Trek fan 1891. That right there is an attack. That right there is an attack. It's these little things. They're never going to come out and say, fuck you if you believe in this. They're just going to keep any little point, any little thing. It doesn't even matter. Like, you don't notice it. It's so petty. It's so petty for me to point out that he's using Princess Peach 1987. It's such a nothing thing. It's so unimportant. And that's a major way that people like this warp reality. While they at first surmised that they may have stumbled across unlisted dropshipping sales, which thankfully we now know cannot be the case because Wayfair has said that they were priced accurately, and the only issue is that the photos and descriptions are not good enough, so that's all junk. Unlisted dropshipping sales, no. Facebook posts also suspicious of the pricey listings and with them blah blah blah, more inclined to listen to their suspicions that they may be something more to the listings. This isn't even an issue. This isn't even a manipulation issue. This is this guy's rapping like Eminem right now, and this is a public schools issue. This is what happens when you go to public schools. This is what happens when you live in New York City and drink tap water. This is what happens when you eat the entire tube of toothpaste. Andrew Whalen, turn your phone off, pick up a book, piece together how they do it in all the words that are in the books. Figure it out for yourself. Because right now you sound like you have a learning disability. Unlisted dropshipping sales, also suspicious of the pricey listings, more inclined to listen to their suspicions, maybe something more to the listings. It's idiocy. Prominent arrests like that of Jeffrey Epstein for the alleged trafficking and sexual assault of underage girls have shown that extensive pedophilia networks do exist, but the details, quote unquote, that's what it says here, the details of the Wayfair theory do not make a credible case. You understand? But the details of the theory do not make a credible case. As if you're sitting in a courtroom listening to a case being presented by investigators. This is an internet hunch that has been followed up on for a few days or however long. If they made a credible case, It would be nationwide news, dumb fuck. They don't make a credible case because it's an internet hunch that is being followed up on that is a few days old. If it was a credible case, it would be the story of the year, you fucking dum-dum. And I want to say, this guy, if you put him back in 1998, he would be saying the same thing about Jeffrey Epstein. There would be an article by Andrew, what is this guy's forgettable ass name? Andrew Whalen. Andrew Whalen. There would be an article by Andrew Whalen that says, the details of the Jeffrey Epstein theory do not make a credible case. Same shit. They don't make a credible case because you're not an investigator, you're not an actual journalist, you are a blogger, you are crawling along the ground on your hands and knees looking for a condom to suck the cum out of. That's what your whole existence is. You work at a fucking article factory, you have 45 minutes to make an article. Does the Marvel Hulk film have enough gender inclusion? Oh, here's a condom I can suck the cum out of. Should Tony Stark be a woman? We gotta check out what else this guy's written. If you are 17, if you're 22, if you have aspirations to be the next Edward R. Murrows or whatever the fucking guy's name is, if you want to be the big newsman, if you want to provide, if you have a dream of being on the front lines of battle, being a war journalist, if that dream involves any mainstream outlet, mainstream acceptance, just pack it in. Pack it up. It's over. Your dream was smashed a long time ago by, I'm not going to say who, but you know who. And this guy's fucking licking condoms off the floor. Culture. Brandon Sanderson says he'll finish Stormlight Archive Book 4 this week. Culture. Chats with Picard and what else Star Trek fans can expect from Comic-Con. Culture. Blah, blah, blah. His Dark Materials. Fuck you. Culture. Halloween Kills. The Expendables of 80s fantasy movies. And I will bet you, I'll bet you a shiny red apple. I bet you a shiny red apple that if I click one of these fucking Star Trek articles, it's gonna be so well written. It's gonna make sense to me. They're not gonna be run-on sentences because when this guy's thinking about Jean-Luc Picard, read Revamp. Now that's reality. You know what's fucked up? I feel like the Pizzagate shit or anything racial, anything you want to try to convince people of, if you hit them with, well, the thing about these police brutality is that a lot of the time when people try to resist the Avengers have to use their superpowers to arrest them. I bet that would unlock a lot of minds. I bet there's a depressingly large chunk of people that you could win over if you shaped a good argument that way. It's like in issue number 276 when the Green Goblin tried to use Tony Stark's electro gun on him. It's like when they used the cop's taser on him. It's the same thing. He had to kill him. Probably eating baked beans right now. That person. Probably eating hot dog with baked beans on it right now. Not that I wouldn't go for that myself. Subsequent elaborations on the theory. A $5,000 fireproof filing cabinet, which makes more sense. That's more realistic. The code name Walnut Sauce, which sounds strange and flimsy. Supporters of the theory have urged skeptics to use a Russian search engine. Skews lead to a specific child, but the numbers return the exact same result, blah, blah, blah. And the Wayfair sells furniture to Texas detention facility. So now we're going to overload you with a full page of boring minutia and things that are of varying degrees of credibility, things that sound flimsier and flimsier. We're going to go in depth. We're going to go to the hilt. We're going to go balls deep. We're going 9 inches in on the shit that is flimsy, okay? So all the scary stuff, all the stuff that seems probably real, we're going to dismiss that with one hand wave. We're going to say the discredited Pizzagate allegations. But now that we're talking about shit that is harder to believe, now that we're talking about stuff that is going to scare normies off because of how far-fetched it seems, Russian SKU numbers? You kidding me? Now we're gonna go full on, full page, deep info. We're going deep info on the crackpot shit. You know what's fucked up? The Iraq and Afghanistan, these wars that have cost so much. One thing that's a good takeaway from libertarianism, there's a lot of, man, if you say that there are things that you like about libertarianism or libertarian economic theory or Austrian economics, you can pick and choose different things. You don't have to be full on. You can say that there's a emergent property to the pricing system that leads to things generally seeking equilibrium in a way that's better much better than a centrally planned economy. You can say that without saying that we should have competing private security forces and that we should be on an island where everything is legal, okay? One thing that's a good takeaway from libertarianism is the idea of the seen versus the unseen, specifically when it comes to pricing. This has to do with, this is the reason why humans are so bad at setting prices, is because humans don't anticipate the secondary and tertiary and ripple effects that happen when you change the price. When you force it, when you make it so that in a heat wave it is illegal to charge a certain amount of money for air conditioners, and you call it price gouging, what that means is you're no longer making a situation that lends itself to the people who need the air conditioners the most getting them by showing how much they need it with money. You're making it so it's first come, first serve. So the little old lady that's going to die of a heat stroke, who cannot race down to Home Depot and fight her way through a line for an air conditioner, she's not going to get it. It's going to be the guy that gets there first. Seen versus unseen. Just look it up. I don't want to get into it. Seen versus unseen. So, the thing that's fucked up, that always struck me as fucked up, because I used to watch The Daily Show a lot. I used to like Craig Kilborn, I think was the original host of The Daily Show. I used to think Jon Stewart was very funny. But I always didn't like it when Jon Stewart would make fun of George Bush. That was a big thing in the late 90s or early 2000s or whatever. Whenever George Bush was president, who cares, whatever. Jon Stewart would always make fun of George Bush, and he would always make fun of George Bush's grasp on language. He would always make it seem like George Bush was a dumb yokel. He would always make it seem like George Bush was operating with a 85 IQ. He looked like a monkey. He had big ears that stuck out. The thing about George Bush, though, is that George Bush was an eloquent motherfucker when he was campaigning. George Bush took us inexorably into the Middle East. There was the Gulf War, which was a shorter conflict, which I'm sure was bad, where we took out Saddam Hussein. I don't know enough about history. I don't care. But the war that George Bush Jr., second one, got us into is the reason why we're still there. This inexorable, inexitable, perpetual, soul-sucking, money-depleting, resource-depleting, manpower-depleting war in the Middle East that was sold to the American people on a lie, the lie that there were weapons of mass destruction over there, that was sold to the American people on a pack of lies. And the best thing, the hardest hitting thing that Jon Stewart could do was make fun of this guy's intelligence and make fun of how he looks like a monkey and how he can't read. Look up George Bush Jr. at the debates before he was president and tell me that's an unintelligent person. I don't think so. Yes, he's from Texas. Yes, he's benefits from nepotism. He's not a genius, whatever, but he's not retarded. As the wealth of this country was being destroyed to support the military-industrial complex, to support Israel, while the Middle East was thrown into chaos, people are being genetically destroyed by depleted uranium, and just the most horrifying things you could think of happening. Fucking Jon Stewart is making fun of the guys who can't read, and that's the best. That's the hardest he can hit him with. Oh, how did we get on this? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Oh yeah, I don't like Jon Stewart. That cleverness, that beta shit. I just had to change the battery. Nothing else has changed. So we got a page of the crackpot stuff, or the more skeptical, less credible stuff to throw you off the scent. And now that your mind is numb from minutia, we come back to the meat and bones of the article here. At the tail end of this, I'll just point out one thing. Yeah, the Wayfair conspiracy theory took a life of its own, will likely become part of the extensive mythology regarding child sex trafficking brought to national prominence in 2016. The extensive mythology. So first of all, the implication is that even the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, even whatever is real, is part of an extensive mythology. Anything that's real, child sex trafficking, it's part of an extensive mythology. And this ties back to the thing I said about Star Trek. If this were an actual mythology, this guy would probably be a lot more apt to pay attention to it properly. If it was an actual mythology. If this had a vibranium shield, if this had the Incredible Hulk, if this had adamantium claws, I guarantee you old Andrew Whalen. This guy's parents probably forget his fucking name too. Fucking loser. Let me look this guy up real quick. Oh man, this sucks. This guy looks like he's got a collection of whatever toy is popular right now. Fuzzies. He's got the fuzzies, and he's in San Francisco. Imagine this guy's life, man. He's got to pass through homeless people's shit every day on the way to work, and he's got to write about this fucking crap. That sucks, man. I'll change the world. I'll be a journalist. I'll make it big. I'll move to San Francisco. I'll trudge around, walking around homeless people's shit and needles, and I'll write about Doctor Who. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry you have to deal with that. I'm sorry your life as a snail sucks so much ass. The extensive mythology. The extensive mythology concerning the rape of the world. Rape and murder of life. There is an extensive mythology around these horrific crimes that are probably happening right now still, because there are no journalists actually investigating it.
I'm Andrew Whalen. I graduated school and now I'm playing with Poopy in the streets of San Francisco. I watch a lot of movies. I watch a lot of shows.
I'm a culture writer. I write about culture. The culture. Holy shit. Pizzagate alleged that a child sex and human trafficking ring operated by high-ranking Democratic Party officials was run in part or completely through the non-existent basement of a Washington, D.C. area pizza shop. So that's it. This whole allegation was that it all ran through a non-existent basement. So once we proved factually with ground-penetrating radar that the basement did not exist, we debunked the entirety of Pizzagate. The basement's non-existent? Time to pack it up and go home. Sorry guys, no basement here. It's not Comet Ping Pong. It's not that. It's not cheese pizza. It's not CP Ping Pong, play with the balls, kitty toy fuck pizza shop, Comet Ping pong. It's fun. No mention of that. It's a Washington, D.C. area pizza shop. So it's in the Washington, D.C. area. So again, we're casting doubt here. It could be any old pizza shop in the Washington, D.C. area. These wackos, these conspiracy wackos, they just latch on to the fact that it's in the Washington, D.C. area. And it could be any pizza shop. And as a matter of fact, this concerns you, reader at home, because pizza shop's a pretty innocuous thing. So if you do anything innocuous, if you drive a car, or if you drink water, you could be a Washington, D.C. area water drinker. This could fall on you. This is just something random. Washington, D.C. area pizza shop. While easily debunked evidence began to pile up. That's the next thing in this here. So while easily debunked evidence began to pile up. I mean, he's so heavy-handed. It's so heavy-handed, putting evidence in quotes. Who is reading this and seeing the word evidence in quotes and going, yeah, got him. Get out of here with that fake-ass evidence. Get out of here with that fake-ass evidence that's so unconvincing you have to shut down all mention of it from Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. This evidence is so flimsy, fake, falsified, debunked, that if you mention it, you get deleted. While easily debunked evidence began to pile up. It's easily debunked. The word evidence is in quotes, but it should be easily debunked, this in quotes. It's so easily debunked that the specifics of it do not need to be gotten into here. And it began to pile up. The stuff began to pile up. It wasn't discovered by interested people just curiously searching for it and putting the pieces together. It began to mysteriously pile up, almost like Russian bots were behind it. It began to pile up like junk piles up in your house. It's not something you need to look at. It's not something you need to think about. It's something that began to pile up. And now that you read about it, aren't you glad that it's not here anymore? Because all that junk was piled up. Because it was piled up. Newsweek previously documented how transgressive public art, including footage from concerts, was falsely recontextualized as satanic rituals. It's transgressive public art. So this is like a public service. This is something you should want. You do not want to be stuck in the ways of the past. It's good. Anything weird is easily explainable. If, for example, if there was a painting of a toddler with a knife up his ass and a blindfold on and he's crying, well, it's because it's transgressive. So I know it's a little weird, it's a little bit, but still, look, this is the kind of art that's transgressive. So someone like you, an NFL watching, Newsweek reading, schlaboobum, as they say in the 6,000-year-old legal document, the schlaboobum, you wouldn't know about this transgressive stuff, but it's fine. I'll explain it to you. It's okay. It's transgressive, including footage from concerts. So these Pizzagators, these conspiracy types, they're so crazy. They're even looking at something as innocent as a public concert, you know? Like nothing bad ever happens at public concerts. There's nothing weird. Go have sex right now. Nothing weird happens at concerts. There's never anything strange about the performances at concerts that would be upsetting. You know, your kids, you should send a 13-year-old to go watch a Lady Gaga concert. It's totally fine. And it's these white supremacist Nazis, they are so crazy that they found this Pizzagate shit in concert footage. So imagine where else they would find it. You know, a YouTube video, baby Elsa goes poopy, and Joker rapes, and Joker captures, tortures baby Elsa. You know, they find this shit in YouTube videos. Where else are they going to find it? Where else are they going to find it? Dan Schneider, Hollywood fucking feet, innocent feet on the TV. They put mustard on, lick them. These people are so crazy. They'll watch a Disney show for kids, and they'll watch a little baby girl getting mustard and penis licked off the toes, and they'll think there's something wrong, there's something insidious with it. It's a Disney show. There's 2 feet. They're covered in mustard. Tastes like chicken. They're watching these Pizzagators are watching that crap and thinking that there's something
wrong with it. They're so crazy they'll look at concert footage and find something wrong with that. What are they going to look at next? There's nothing sacred. They're making fun of the concerts now. Was falsely recontextualized as satanic rituals. It was falsely recontextualized as satanic rituals. The Pizzagate shit, they just happened upon Marina Abramovich's, however you pronounce her fucking Eastern European Jewish whatever name. I don't care. Not anti-Semitic. Whatever her fucking last name is. Abramovich. Whatever. However you pronounce that boring ass shit. Boring ass bitch's name. Whatever you want to label that bitch with, you call it. Marina. Fucking ugly hoe. How about this? Here's a hot take. Marina Abramovich is an ugly hoe. And the whole reason she has to go crazy making artwork and shit is because nobody wants to fuck her. So here's what happened. These Pizzagators, they happened upon her transgressive art, and they falsely recontextualized it as a satanic ritual. Let's pull up some pictures of Marina. If I said to you, I'm not a Christian, okay? I'm not a Christian. If I told you that, you don't have a mind-reading device. You don't know if I think that Jesus Christ is my personal Lord and Savior who sacrificed himself for my sin. There's no way to tell. If I'm wearing a shirt with crosses and I got a cross tattooed on me and I got a license plate that says One with Christ and there's videos of me praying and I'm hanging out with pastors, and then I tell you that I'm not a Christian, you at least have to say, what's up with that? This is weird. It seems like he's lying to me. Let's look at Marina. Look at these pictures. What's this? What's this? Very so yeah, I guess if we had a lie detector, a foolproof lie detector, and old Marina's telling me that she's not a Satanist, then yeah, I guess I'm being inaccurate. We just don't have the technology at this point, which is part of why I'm donating $400,000 to a black charity tonight. Foolproof lie detectors, invest in black businesses. There is manipulation being done here. Dishonorable manipulation being done here. It is recontextualization. So we're looking at these innocent art pieces, and we're saying to ourselves, how can we maliciously take the content of these innocent, beautiful pieces of performance art and twist them so that the context is totally different from what was originally intended? How can we recontextualize this innocent, beautiful, traditional, wonderful performance art and make people believe that Satan's got something to do with it, which he obviously doesn't. It obviously doesn't have anything to do with Satan. There was no recontextualization, barely at all, in Pizzagate. I was there. I was looking shit up. I wasn't doing any recontextualization. I was finding weird freak shit, posting it, saying, why is this on this account? Why is there an account of some faggot boyfriend of some high-ranking faggot posting babies saying chicken lover, which means I like to fuck little infant boys? I wasn't recontextualizing anything. I was looking at this. The code words, the thing about the code words, the FBI knows what these code words are. The FBI will tell you what the symbols mean. You can ask the FBI what a bunch of triangles in a spiral thing means. It means little boy lover. That's what it means. You can't play dumb. These people with these articles, they think they're so fucking clever. You think you're so fucking clever, man? It's literally the same thing as a drug dealer who gets busted
using code words for drugs. You think you're so fucking clever. Nah, I wasn't talking about selling cocaine. I was talking about moving packs. I'm talking about bricks. I'm talking about cement bricks. Yeah, my cousin makes cement bricks, nigga. We were talking about birds. We were talking about birds. We have a bird sanctuary, nigga. We ain't bad guys. We got bird sanctuary. We repair birds that got broken wings and shit. That's what these people think they can get away with.
Do you have any hot dogs? You have any maps with cheese pizza?
And then Tim Heidecker's making videos talking about how he loves pizza and how that we're Nazis and we want to make people hate pizza. You dumb bitch. You dumbass bitch, Tim Heidecker. You know what? One day, I might show up, Tim. Get a gun. I might show up. You don't get this across video. You don't get how big I am. And you don't get from looking at me, I look disheveled. You don't understand the speed. Oh, I could fucking fly across this 30-foot room. You'd think you were watching a parkour video. If I was ever like, all right, fuck it, I've had enough of this guy, you'd think you were watching Sabretooth in a Marvel movie. How's that for context? You really might need one, man. You really might need one. And it might not even help you. Because people don't understand how fast I am. I could probably run like 18 miles an hour. For someone that's almost 300 pounds, that's very fast. That is a lot of kinetic energy. That's tables and chairs being moved out of the way. That's things preventing me from getting to you almost like they don't exist. Like the physics in the build engine, Duke Nukem, chairs just moving like this. Like you could hide, take cover behind someone, I don't know, put an object in front of you. It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. I would love to have nothing so that that would be my play. But unfortunately, I'm just doing so much better than Tim at life that why would I throw it away? I might do it though. I might do it, nigga. Oof. I'm literally, I swear to God this is true. Should I swear to God this is true? Do I swear to God? I swear to God this is mostly true. This is true enough that I can say it's true without thinking about it for too long. People think that I dislike Tim Heidecker because he got me canceled. He got me canceled from a deal where we were making $40,000 a year. We were locked into a 6-year deal. It was cool to be on TV. It was not cool to not make money. I'm making much more money now. I'm not homicidally pissed off at Tim Heidecker for getting us kicked off of Adult Swim. It was fucking gay. His involvement in it was fucking gay. It was feminine. He went to everybody and said, you working with these people, they're hateful. It was bitch-like behavior that I wouldn't engage in myself. But still, I don't hate him for that. The I'm a cuck shit, the Pizzagate shit especially. Why go up on that hill to potentially die? Like debunking Pizzagate, it's not like it's... Like I understand some of his other political opinions. He might think that he's helping black people. He might think that he's helping restore sanity or something, or get rid of this evil Trump guy or whatever. Like there are reasons why I can understand reasons for why he's got these other political opinions. He says I'm a cuck because he thinks that, it's more important to care more about other people than it is to care about yourself or whatever. Like I get that. Like that's fine. I get why he would have very vocal opinions about that, being a sun-baked dweeb from Hollywood. The Pizzagate shit, I don't understand why Tim makes fun of people who think that there's some validity to the Pizzagate shit, especially when there's so much validity to the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. There's so much validity. It's obvious. It is cut and dry that Epstein was pimping out underage girls to world leaders, to influential people, to have dirt on them, whether he was an Israeli asset, whether he was some other intelligence asset, whatever. This is undeniable. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go other than this. There is sex trafficking at very high levels so that Jeffrey Epstein could collect dirt on influential people. The people who decide your future, the people who decide what the world will look like tomorrow, their decisions are being influenced. They're being blackmailed into making decisions a certain way. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's Israel. I don't know who's doing it. Whatever. Doesn't matter. But this is crazy. This is crazy. This is shattering news. This is news like you've never imagined. This is the big one. This is the big one, man. To see that, and then to look at the Pizzagate stuff, and not only say, sounds like a bit much. I'm not along for the ride with you guys. If you find some evidence, let me know. To make fun of people who are investigating that shit, like Tim Heidecker has done. To the people who are trying to get to the bottom of what the fuck is going on. Because there's nobody else. Edward R. Murrows is not around. NBC is not going to do breaking investigative journalism into this topic. Vice is too busy talking about how I did acid and ate a piece of shit from a African warlord's ass crack to talk about anything that matters. Vice, talk about a fall from glory. Who owns Vice now? Vice isn't on HBO anymore? Fucking, ooh, man. Imagine, ooh, man. Shout out to Gavin McInnes. Shout out to Gavin McInnes. Imagine if you were at the helm of Vice, all the cool shit you could have done. Gavin, I'm not talking about Gavin, I'm talking about Shane. Imagine what you could have done at the head of Vice News. Imagine the dynasty you could have built with Vice News. Imagine the rocket ship to truth, education, whatever. Partner with Khan Academy. Imagine the cool ass shit you could have done at prime Vice, at billion-dollar Vice, whatever. I don't even want to look up the evaluation, whatever sickening, at fucking big money Vice. Imagine what you could have done. Built a dynasty, an information dynasty. You wouldn't even have had to throw it all away, to go hardcore. You wouldn't have had to go into Pizzagate. You could have just been like stalwart, like you could have done something legendary with Vice. Now what's Vice? 10 things I sucked on when I was on acid baking while I was pregnant. I got drunk off my own sperm. 10 ways I sucked off some guy in Mexico for tequila because I'm in college. I got in a bar fight to see what would happen. I got my ass kicked because I was on shrooms. Talk about spoiling everything. Talk about dropping a once-in-a-generation opportunity. Talk about burning everything for nothing. Foolish motherfuckers. I bet that Shane guy from Vice, I bet he thought he was God. When he heard that they were going to pay him $1 billion or whatever amount of money, 100 million, whatever it was, he thought to himself, I'm God. Rationality? Bye-bye. Any semblance of journalistic integrity, any notion of sacrificing a little bit of money to do really cool shit, bye-bye. Forgot where I was at. Recontextualizing. Satanic rituals. They fucking are satanic rituals. Dumb fuck. I would debunk that though, because I'm anti-Pizzagate and this is an anti-Pizzagate video. So it's being debunked in the process of, I'm helping him right now, Andrew Whalen. When I see that face, you know what, man? It is tough. It's tough. A woman's beauty peaks at a young age, and women growing up are told, this is not an anti-woman thing, by the way, so don't brace yourself for that. Women are told growing up that you're beautiful, you have intrinsic value, you are worthwhile, you are worth something because you are pretty, because you are innocent, because you are young, you are a princess, you are worth something. And the fight of most women's lives is, one of them is undoing that damage. Getting in tune with reality, undoing that damage. Men are the opposite. Men have negative worth. Women's worth peaks, goes down. Men's worth, nothing, goes up. Men, as a boy, boys are viewed sort of the same as feminine. Cute. Oh, it's a cute kid. Adolescent men, you're a fucking booger, you're acne, you piss, get the fuck out of here. No, I will not go out with you. You suck. You failed. You fail. You're failure. You're ugly, etc. I'm not saying women don't have tough time in middle school, high school, whatever. I'm just saying the arc, men, nothing, they go up. This guy, Andrew Whalen, you can tell that he was a cute kid. He's got a dwarf-like face, sort of shining face, and pretty teeth all in a row. Teeth all in a row. That is a tough burden. I am what I am today, which, whether you like the content or not, I would say I have achieved a high level of mastery of certain things. And I have that because I was an ungainly youth. I blossomed late. I had a tough time in high school that ignited within me a desire to do something, become something, to get some worth. These guys who are handsome, guys who are cute kids going into their adolescence. Oh, he's still so cute. Oh, look at his cheeks. Ah. That is tough. And I don't know Andrew Whalen, but I'm just going to assume this faggot-ass retard 1 IQ writing style piss poo-poo and obsession with Marvel Comics has something to do with that.
The listing got the suspicion because the listing was suspicious, and they saw the listing. I did not proofread this.
1 IQ, nigga. And he capitalizes satanic. So he did spell check that. Definitely capitalized satanic. The crux of the claims relied on emails stolen from the personal account of Hillary Clinton campaign manager John Podesta and published by WikiLeaks in 2016. If you're talking to Alan Dershowitz, if you're talking about military action in the Middle East, if you're talking about the President of the United States in that email, it's not a personal email anymore, Andrew. It's not like the email you use to sign up for Tinder. It's not like the email you use to subscribe to Marvel Box of the Month, you fucking fool. It is no longer a personal email. Do you understand? Because it concerns national security. Because it concerns the future of the country. You silly boy. You handsome boy. Andrew, you're such a handsome little boy. Aren't you glad you didn't ever learn your actual talent? And you look like a little gnome? You have perfect straight teeth. Too bad that doesn't help you think.
Can you believe these hackers stole it from the personal email? You fucking retard. Stolen. I bet he wanted to capitalize the S in stolen too, like satanic. This guy is so concerned with email theft. This guy has such a big heart. He has such a big, bursting at the seams heart because he looks like a little Care Bear that he's really concerned about Hillary Clinton's campaign manager's emails being stolen. I just don't want to see anyone else's emails get stolen. Not today, guys, okay? This is the day. This is the anniversary of when John Podesta's emails were stolen from his personal account, no less. Not his work account. Not John Podesta at .gov, where he talks about the big stuff. But the one where he talks about family get-togethers and macaroni muffin recipes. Because that's what's important here. That's where the Pizzagate revelations was with the muffin recipes that he shared. So we're making it up from the personal account, the muffin recipes, Andrew. If you notice something, these words are important. These words are everything, the little words. Recontextualize. If you notice something weird and you post about it, you are publicly defeated, deplatformed. You are accused of recontextualizing. You are a recontextualizer. If you wonder, why are these celebrities covering their eyes, playing with fake blood, blah, blah, blah? If you wonder why, you are recontextualizing reality. But if you are part of the media, you can in fact recontextualize fucking everything. With 10-page long articles, you can change everything. You can recontextualize everything.
get away scot-free. Recontextualizing is all these people do. The media does not investigate anything. The media they're not on the front lines bringing you the hard-hitting facts. All they do, all day long, is recontextualize shit. This is because of racism. This is because of sexism. This is because of blah, blah, blah. This is because Trump is Russian. Every fucking headline is a recontextualization. Well, the so-called Podesta emails, incredible. While the so-called Podesta emails, they're the Podesta emails. You dumbass. They're the emails from his account. Why are they so-called? Why are they in quotes? How are you even attempting to cast aspersions? Someone brings you a car to your car mechanic. You work at a Ford dealership. Well, your so-called Ford Explorer seems to have an issue with the oil filter. What are you talking about? Why would you say that? It's simply an opportunity to invite the reader to doubt the veracity of the thing that he wants you to think is not real. If it's not real, why do you need this? The Wayfair cabinet thing, I've sold stuff online. I would completely understand if there was it was a shipping bot. It was some fucking Indian person we hired, Amazon Mechanical Turk. He did it wrong because he's fucking retarded. We put the decimal place wrong. I would understand. But no, the price was accurate. Here's a 10-page article about a bunch of shit. And the language that we're going to use is designed to fuck with your head. The so-called Podesta emails contained multiple newsworthy revelations, including the content of speeches Clinton delivered to Goldman Sachs and the leak of questions to the Clinton campaign in advance of a CNN town hall. I'm surprised that John Podesta, or so-called John Podesta, would have this in his personal account. With 2016 Democratic primary opponent Bernie Sanders, Pizzagate was built on, highlighted built on, so it's a malicious fabrication. This is built. This is built by some Dr. Evil scientist. It's not a collection of noticing things. On the unsubstantiated claim, there it is again, unsubstantiated. Again, if Pizzagate was substantiated, it would rock the world for a decade. It would be the only thing people would talk about. You would be in a fucking bomb shelter if you were lucky. That's what it would mean if it was substantiated. Claim that certain words within the emails were in fact coded allusions to child sex trafficking. So, small point, he could have said code words, but saying code words sounds more credible because people know from movies about drug dealers, they know that drug dealers talk in code words. It's completely plausible that if you were running a sex trafficking operation, you would use code words. You wouldn't say, oh, did you have the black boy penis and the adrenaline gland harvested that I ordered? You would use code words. But he uses, in the article, he says coded allusions. Did he mention anything about the coded allusions to my ill behavior? Just speak English. Speak English, man. You are not mentally equipped to use big boy words. Just say code words. The FBI knows what the triangle means. The FBI, if you were sitting in a room with an FBI investigator and he pulls out your phone and he's got a bunch of messages where you're talking about getting cheese pizza, you cannot hide behind the fact that it's a code word. This is silliness. This is just playing games now. It wasn't cocaine, it was a bird. No, officer, no, Mr. Investigator, I really was looking for a cheese pizza. I was hungry. I was going to pay $15,000 for it. And how would it be substantiated? How would it be substantiated? It would be substantiated with an email from John Podesta that says, okay, guys, from now on, when we say walnut, we're talking about black boy cum. It's like a class on what not to do. I have not been staying up on what's up with Pizzagate. Someone sent me the Wayfair thing on Instagram, and I was like, it's probably not real. Fuck that. What the fuck? And then I looked up the article, and the article is making me think that it's completely real. Well, the so-called Podesta emails contained multiple newsworthy revelations. All that means is that that's what you're allowed to talk about. If it's newsworthy, it's something that they don't mind sacrificing. They don't mind burning Hillary Clinton's image with the Goldman Sachs thing because they know that that's too. Most people aren't going to understand why that's a bad thing. Like, who cares? Who really cares that Hillary Clinton was sucking up to Goldman Sachs investors or promising them whatever? Like, most voters don't understand why that's something you should not have. So they throw that out there anyway. That's a bone they throw you. So that's what newsworthy means. Newsworthy means you are allowed to talk about it. And this guy who writes about the blobfish and the new Star Trek show is telling you what newsworthy is. And I'll say one more thing about before we continue on reading here. The title, Kids Shipped in Armoires, the person who started the Wayfair conspiracy speaks. I get that it's clickbait, okay? I know, like... Yeah, but you're just picking apart clickbait. You know that article's going to be crap. Yes, I know. Okay, but clickbait, even if... I hate clickbait. I have a huge brain. I read philosophy. Okay, I read intelligence books. Like, in Fallout, when you get a book to pick up that adds one to your intelligence, I read that. I don't even use the news computer, okay? I don't know what this thing is. But even I'm subjected to 1,000 clickbait titles a day. The clickbait titles influence you probably more. They probably influence you more because you're that dismissive of them. Because you think they're that unimportant. Probably is more effective. You know how you wonder why advertisements are really annoying? Sucking them down, Febreze and do the... Mommy, can we use Febreze on the chair? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Here comes a dancing lizard. Bye, Six Flags. Go to Six Flags. Ding, 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 ding. Oh man, that ad's so annoying. That didn't work on me at all. But I feel like going to Six Flags now. Now I feel like a Wendy's hamburger. Good thing advertising doesn't work on me, because I'm smart. That's what clickbait is. Doesn't work on me either, man. But kids shipped in armoire? What are they thinking? This media matters. This is, and it's because, look, it's kind of hard to change human nature, okay? People are lazy pieces of shit. When they sit on the toilet at work, they're constipated. They have bad diets. They have impacted fecal matter in their colons that will be there for centuries. And they're sitting on the toilet, being disgusting, having rosacea, having bad skin, smelling bad, smelling like sour milk, nasty ass ham planet beasts. Sitting on the toilet at work, and they're going on their phone, and they're saying, I feel like I have no soul. I hate my life and I hate my job. I wonder what I can look at on the phone to distract me for 2 seconds. If I could be distracted for 2 seconds, I will sell my soul to the devil and go to hell forever, because I hate my fucking life. And they don't say this consciously. This is the undertone of their thoughts. The actual thought is, that new Angus burger looks pretty good. I think I'll go try it. I want to try the new burger they have at the new McArch. My first introduction to the corporate world, to the working world, to where people go 9 to 5 and sell their time in exchange for money that they use to pay rent, so they have nothing, so they just spend their time. So they just blow all their time. My first introduction to that was this guy, Josh. He had a Mazda RX-8, which is a suck-ass car to have. In case you don't know anything about cars, RX-8 is a suck-ass, not cool whip. And he had it sounds like I'm making it up, but he had a tribal pattern, like tribal armband thing, like Fast and the Furious tribal. And it was just black tribal on a silver car. It was a small graphic. It was not a big thing. It wasn't a body wrap. It was like a small, like fucking tramp stamp on his car. And he had painted it on. It wasn't a vinyl cutout. He said to himself, I love this car. I will never sell this car. I love this design of this generic ass tribal. I'm going to paint it on the car. instead of getting a wrap that can be removed later. My first week working now, I'll go for a ride with him and get lunch. RX-8, such a whack abortion of a car. It's got that fucking rotary engine, naturally aspirated, no power. He goes, like revs his tits off the thing, and he says, "I heard about the new. It wasn't the Angus. It was the Angus burger. I heard about the new Angus burger. I want to go try it." This is a guy that's like 26 years old, works in graphic design, should know better. He's an artist. He appreciates aesthetics, beauty, design, proportion. He creates elegant shapes that communicate. He's thinking for a week about the new Angus burger in his fucking stupid ass car. Anyway, people sit on the toilet, click these links, scrub through. They pick up on the words. They don't even read the full sentences. If they did, they would realize how badly written it is. They see arbitrary associations, conspiracy theorists, quote unquote pizza, debunked evidence, easily debunked. And they make a conclusion based on that.
It's crazy that I'm making a 4-hour video about one article, not a long article, but it's because every other word, he's doing something every other word to throw you in the wrong direction. My question is, why is he doing this? Did he hear about the white supremacist who took a gun to Comet Ping Pong and didn't, I don't recall if he shot anyone. Did he do anything? I don't think he did anything. Did this guy, Andrew Whalen, hear about that incident and say to himself, you know what, today I'm going to put down the Avengers movie and I'm going to make a stand in the battle that I believe in. The battle to keep this Washington, D.C. area pizza shop safe. There's a lot of chaos going around, a lot of misinformation going around. My main concern is that pizza shops are going to get shot up. This is something I spend my time thinking about, and I'm going to write this well-researched, thoroughly thought-out article about it. In between my articles about the Guardians of the Galaxy and the new Dr. Sherlock reboot. Why fill it with so many of these weasel words? Why not actually debunk it? In the arbitrary associations developed by conspiracy theorists. So he's talking about cheese, pizza, walnut sauce, maps. They're arbitrary associations. So they just picked out fake words. Pen. This means prostitute. Stamp. This means tranny. Oh, this is a bad one. Tobacco jar. This means 2-year-old. The problem is they're absolutely not arbitrary. Okay, they're based on the weirdness of their the incongruence of their appearance in emails. I'm going to pay $66,600 for hot dogs. So now I'm wondering what the fuck a hot dog is. This is not an arbitrary association. This is not a malicious fabrication. This is not me opening up the dictionary, picking out words, randomly assigning a value to them. Go tell an FBI investigator that cheese pizza, that when you were going to pay $1,500 for a cheese pizza video, that's arbitrary. It's not how it works. Arbitrary associations developed by conspiracy theorists. Out-of-place words noticed by anyone with a brain. That's what it should say. Words that make no sense given their location in these emails. I love this one. This is a Tim Heidecker one. Various food words, including cheese, map, walnut, sauce, and of course, pizza. So that's of course, quote unquote, pizza. And of course, pizza. So this is a thing. This is actually a thing here. This is making you. This is trying to make you share tiredness. What this guy's doing is not natural. But here's what's natural. What's natural is if you're suffering, if you're a negative person, you will feel better if you can bring other people into your negativity.
So if you're at work, if you're doing 9 to 5, you're going to meet a lot of people like this who complain about the boss, and they do it in a way that's linguistically framed in such a way as though you already agree with them. And of course, the boss fucking takes 2 parking spaces again today. Am I right? I had this happen to me. I had a landlord who was a great landlord. The neighbor didn't like him, and he said, and of course, Chris left the dumpster open again. And for like an hour after that, I'm thinking, man, this landlord of ours really doesn't care about the dumpster. And then I came to my senses. What the fuck do I care about this? This is a good landlord. He left the dumpster unlocked. What am I thinking? But this is a natural thing. I'm not saying that this is what the guy's doing. I'm just saying in your life you're gonna notice this a lot. This is what people do. And of course, the guy, he shows up 2 minutes late. I love when people do this too, because they always do it over the smallest shit. Like, oh, and of course, he tops my coffee off so much that I can't slosh it around. I love when people do that. It's so entitled. It's so like the things that they get they of course about. I just love it. Anyway, this guy is taking advantage of that. And of course, pizza. He wants you to be tired of the conspiracy theory. He wants it to feel like you've heard pizza associated with this infinity times, and you know that it's not true, and that's that. And I don't understand why is he doing this? Why is he writing the article this way? Why can't he just write an article presenting the facts, try to debunk it if he wants to, say that he doesn't think it's true? Why use this language? Why do it this way? I don't get it. The Wayfair conspiracy theory shares a similar pattern, drawing arbitrary inferences without any evidence. So no, the theory retarded Andrew Whalen, who has never read a single book. The theory doesn't draw inferences. The 100,000 people who are paying attention draw inferences based on reasonable suspicions because nobody's offering an alternative explanation. The only alternative explanation that has been offered is that there are, in fact, properly priced cabinets that are named correctly. They're supposed to be named Samia and Alyssa and whatnot, and it's simply that the photos and descriptions are not good enough. Think about that for a second. That is the official line. They're 20 to 30 times more expensive than any other company's filing cabinet or heavy-duty storage cabinets. Flat files are expensive. These are not flat files. These are tall cabinets. They're going to try to throw you off with flat files. This is my dream. My dream is to own an expensive flat file. By the way, those are baller. But that's not what these are. These are cabinets, storage cabinets that are 20 to 30 times more expensive. This is the official line. They're 20 to 30 times more expensive than anyone else's top-of-the-line industrial cabinet. They are named after, they have vaguely African, Hispanic sounding girls' names that coincide with sex trafficking or kidnapping victims. This is the official line. They did not say anything about the names being wrong. The official line is that the photos and descriptions are not good enough. So, what inferences are you supposed to draw from that? A lot of the conspiracy stuff is kooky, is high-flying. There's a lot of fake shit. But how could there not be with this type of investigation? Like, what is the alternative? The alternative is only silence. The places where these people do these things. I guess the FBI raided Epstein's Island. But I mean, how can you trust the FBI? The only people giving this type of stuff serious attention are the ones whose dedication to justice and curiosity, plain old curiosity, outweigh any sort of social costs that might befall them because of their bad behavior. That's the first category of people that get into this. The second category of people are just people who have you can't impose social costs on them because they're already crazy. So you get a mixed, they're schizo and they're on lithium. So you get a mix of stuff. In my opinion, that is far better than silence, and that is far better than the nasal, feminine, clicky, yeah, I'm better than you, clever. I'm clever. You doing this, I'm doing this. NYU grad student human cockroach shit that's going on about Russians, Russian bots. I mean, the Q shit, at least you can be like, well, I don't know. Okay, it's embarrassing. 1488 drop bombs go. They were saying there was going to be some sort of major action. I don't know. I just wanted to believe, The Russian bot thing is embarrassing, and they're still at it. Trump's only in power because of these Russian bots. He's only there because of Putin. He's friends with Putin. Shit is so thin. It's thinly evidenced. That's thinly evidenced, in my opinion. Or unevidenced. Obama's daughters admit the truth about Michelle. Over-the-counter Adderall alternative, and it's stronger. Brilliant trick melts belly fat overnight. Do lower rates mean it's refinance? Donald Trump believes he can buy anything or anyone. Don't ... Donald Trump tries to lure wavering Hispanic support. ... How evil. He's trying to get Hispanic support. Conversation. Start a discussion, not a fire. Post with kindness. Read our guidelines here. There's a lot of kindness in this article. There's a lot of kindness in robbing people of their time to tell them about some stupid science fiction TV show, some stupid ass His Dark Materials movie, show, whatever. There's a lot of kindness in this, whatever, how many pages, 10 pages, 8 pages, loaded with lies, loaded with snaky linguistic trickery. Very kind. I thought it was very kind how I have to take a highlighter to every other word because there's some issue with the shit that he's saying. I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of time digging into this. And then the first thing that I found on Twitter about this is this guy, Ben Collins. It's just an issue with everything. So someone said that the issue is that these conspiracy sex trafficking cases draw attention away from real sex trafficking cases. Ben Collins. As always, this is the problem with Pizzagate-style narratives. Child sex trafficking exists and thrives, and internet conspiracy theories about child eating on 8chan work to delegitimize the work advocates do to stomp it out. Yeah, I'm sure this guy cares so much about child sex trafficking. I'm sure he was at the front of the line chomping at the bit over the Epstein story. In fact, I'm absolutely positive that this Ben Collins guy, who's white and not something else, I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm absolutely positive that he personally risked his career, he risked his social circle, he risked loved ones thinking he's crazy to get to the bottom of the Jeffrey Epstein case. And I know that if I Google his name, there's going to be a bunch of shit from 5 years ago where he personally is risking his career to break the Jeffrey Epstein case, because that's what he really cares about, is stomping out actual child sex trafficking. This is like if I get pulled over for going 120 and I say, "Officer, what about the real criminals out there? Aren't you worried about catching them?" Jane Coaston, some stupid ass who's online. What galls me the most about this is that in the face of actual human trafficking, folks would rather continue this stranger danger canard rather than face what trafficking actually looks like on the ground. On the ground with us troops, on the ground with us female U.S. Marine troopers out here using physical violence and guns to stomp out human trafficking. And I'm sure this is someone who is at the forefront of getting Jeffrey Epstein busted as well. Ben Collins retweeted. Join us at 10 Eastern Time to talk about why conspiracy theories about George Soros have stuck around. Maybe because he's a 130-year-old vampiric Jew who purposely crashed the British pound and brags about stealing gold from Holocaust people during the Holocaust. Is that why? I don't know.
Pizzagate/QAnon people have Wayfair trending today. They falsely claim price glitches on storage boxes prove that the company is trafficking children. This took off because a post on Reddit's r/conspiracy subreddit yesterday, which is a clearinghouse for anonymous paranoia. Okay, so no, they they don't claim that their price glitches on storage boxes prove anything. They're wondering why they're priced that way. The company has admitted that they are not price glitches. So now you have to explain, why is a cabinet $15,000? Do you see? Do you understand? Tell me why it's $15,000, and I will totally, like, this is so easy. This would be so easy to debunk. If this guy wants to debunk this, life doesn't have to be this antagonistic red versus blue, me versus you argument thing. These people fucking turn it into that. Because they want that. They want conflict. They want to stomp on the competition. They want to be up on high looking down. They want it to be a me versus you thing. We're living in a second, more profound and politically important satanic panic. This time, everyone's in on it. So he's got the New York Times bestseller book title tweet coming in. We're living in a second, more profound and politically important satanic panic. This time, everyone's in on it. People will look for coincidences as narrow and stupid as pricing glitches on furniture sites as proof a global cabal is eating children and controlling the world. I love this one. He retweeted this. It's so weird hearing about some guys not wanting to wear a mask because it makes them look weak. And then you see this. Won't bow down. Dan Tefler. One time I saw a bag of Skittles on Amazon that cost $300. I thought it was a glitch, but maybe there was a woman named Skittles inside the bag. Sarcasm is so... She's little jokes, man. Dear millennials, stop saying Karen. Karen is my lizard's name. Calling a woman Karen is confusing for my lizard. Yeah, we should definitely be fostering racial hatred right now. I think that calling white women Karen is funny. So is chasing them, probably beating them. I think calling black women Shaniqua and talking about how they suck dick for crack is funny. How about that? I think, hey, Maria, fat house cleaner. You Hispanic? You fat house cleaner, Maria? That's what we need right now. The problem with conspiracy theories is that there is no set of facts, no matter how solid, that can disprove them. False. All you would need is a very small set of facts. They wouldn't even need to be that solid. All you would need is a tiny set of not that solid facts to disprove, for people like me, for people who want to believe that people are good and that there's not any bad shit going on. You would need the flimsiest explanation. But instead, I'm looking at this post that says, the problem with conspiracy theories is that there is no set of facts, no matter how solid, that can disprove them. So the first thing in this paragraph is a fucking lie. The conspiracy theory can always be adapted to include new evidence against it. That's just an empty nothing statement. That's not true. That's true if you're schizophrenic, if you're wearing a tinfoil hat right now and you think that fucking aliens are talking to you through 5G, whatever, okay? There are people on every side of the fence that you're never going to be able to convince, but with the Pizzagate stuff, I would prefer to believe that the leaders of the world are not fucking 8-year-olds. That's why it's a fool's game to try to counter them. Okay, so he's going to take the high road. He's going to be above it all. I think this is just an image that Ben guy reposted. He's going to take the high road. It would be a fool's game for me to try to make more money than you and be better than you. I will just carry on being worse. But I will be above it because I will not engage in a fool's game. It's also why conspiracy theories always grow more elaborate and ridiculous over time. People who buy into conspiracy theories are falling victim
So it's not, so I'm not to blame. I'm just so stupid. Falling victim to a flaw in the human brain. I told you I fucking know these people. Human brains are amazing pattern matchers. Ooh, we're going with an evolutionary argument, are we? The problem is that the brain's pattern matching logic is also really good at fooling itself. Oh, yes, of course. This makes total sense. Why wouldn't the brain's pattern matching logic be good at fooling itself? It would be advantageous for a caveman to notice false patterns everywhere and to freak out over them. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Anybody out there who's a detective watching this, I know we have a lot of people in the law enforcement community, just remember that your brain is a faulty, the pattern matching logic is faulty. So if you hear a person of interest talking about moving packs, moving weight, getting keys, things like that, these are just coded illusions, in my opinion. Same goes for some $65,000 hot dogs or pizza, and putting egg on a pizza and sucking off the walnut sauce. Okay, it's just your brain is recognizing certain patterns right now. The person who wrote this fucking thinks they're really in another class of human. I'm way up here. All the little guys are down there reading, suckling at my teat of my opinion, reading my opinion. I have to explain to these little men about how the pattern recognition machine of the human brain works. Maybe you haven't heard of it. But when we were cavemen, you might have heard a roaring tiger. But what you didn't realize was that it was actually a roaring river. So the pattern matching there was false. So that makes sense that if you see a documented child pimp photographed with the leader of every tech company, the leader, all these important politicians, that's your brain making a false pattern. And she will die in prison of a fake disease and also hang herself at the same time because she was so mad about the fake disease. You just made a false pattern. This is a false pattern. The problem is the brain's pattern matching logic is also really good at fooling itself. Spurious coincidences become patterns that demand a story to explain them. Spurious. Using the word spurious. By the way, side note, I love when people say the novel coronavirus. I don't know if you've seen that, but that just means I read one New York Times article about the coronavirus so that I could get up to date and know what it's about. That's the most pretentious thing. I would rather hear somebody talk about themselves in the third person than say the novel coronavirus. You're not fooling anybody with that shit. Johnny Diamond. Hey, Johnny Diamond doesn't break for nobody. Johnny Diamond doesn't pull over for the law. Hey, Johnny Diamond. Hey, Johnny Diamond doesn't like your attitude. You're that guy that's always talking about the novel coronavirus. You seem pretty full of yourself. Hey, Johnny Diamond, I'll see you later, kid. Johnny Diamond. Hey, Johnny Diamond. Spurious? You notice any, hey, you guys notice any of those, spurious coincidences anywhere? Johnny Diamond didn't notice any. Hey, Johnny Diamond thinks maybe you're talking too much in these coded illusions. It's so ridiculous, man. This fucking clown, the way the words they choose to express themselves. Here's another thing. If you're watching this, if you made it all the way in this 5-hour-long odyssey into my one clickbait article that I looked into on this, don't use words like this. Just be direct with your communication. Think about the samurai on the battlefield. To be indirect will not do. You must be direct. Use plain language. Don't be spurious. When I first saw this, right? Like when I first saw someone had put together the high-priced cabinets with the kidnapped children names, I thought to myself, "Whoa! Whoa!" Because that was when my brain noticed a pattern. My logic pattern matching logic machine. It's an amazing pattern machine. But when I saw the cabinets, I was like, "Whoa! Oh!" because my brain was starting to work really hard to supply the story. Kidnapping victims, expensive items that you would never pay for. Race car. The kidnapped child father was a race car driver. He was going to Fuji Speedway. No, wait, no. Oh, okay, no. Here's the story is there's a guy. He's going to a carnival, but then he saw the dunking machine and he wanted to get in it because he wanted to get dunked. He wanted to get dunked. Cabinets, expensive cabinets, kidnapping victims. Oh, I know. There's a monkey. A monkey talked like a human, and the monkey was like looking for money. He wanted to collect money. Oh, I can talk. I'm a monkey. Whoa. But then the scientists caught him. Scientists caught him because they said, Godzooks, that's a talking monkey. And he never saw the guy again. Oh, man. And now, I found that story. But even if that story's false, the brain, not me, the brain, this disconnected, out of control entity, the brain resists any evidence against it. There's no talking monkey, Sam. There's no talking monkey. Your brain is recognizing a pattern there because it's amazing. It's an amazing pattern matcher, but it fools itself. The problem is that the brain's pattern matching logic is also really good at fooling itself. You know, it's a really unfortunate side effect of the evolution of our brain's amazing visual cortex. Trump tells Hannity that he very recently aced the cognitive test. I took it at Walter Reed Medical Center for doctors, and they were very surprised. More noise. Oh, and here's a perfect explanation. So I was looking into this because I wanted to help Wayfair debunk. I wanted to help Wayfair because they seem to have problems debunking. When you ask Wayfair to debunk a pedophile rumor, they basically come out and say that, no, their prices are correct and there's nothing wrong with the names. So I figured I'd help them out because they seem pretty fucking retarded. So I thought this is probably what it was. So the Neriah cabinet, this is from, I think, Fallout? Yeah, Fallout 4. So this is Neriah from Fallout 4. Her height is 255 units. Hairstyle is summa cum laude. Hair color 18 deep brown. She's Brotherhood of Steel affiliate. So this would have explained the steel cabinets. This actually does work out. And she's a senior scribe in charge of biological development. So if she were to have a cabinet, it would probably be full of some pretty expensive stuff. Senior scribe's going to have all kinds of loot, upgraded loot. Probably a pulse rifle, probably power armor, probably a few bottle caps, I'm thinking. In case you don't think that the FBI fucking knows what hot dogs are. Entries of the FBI code illusion workbook include AYFKMWTS. Are you fucking kidding me with this shit? Bogsat, bunch of guys sitting around talking. BTD, T, GTT, SAWIO. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt and wore it out. And WAPSI. Women are pure, concentrated evil. E2EG, ear-to-ear grin. I had an ear-to-ear grin when I got the hot dogs and I got the brick of not cocaine. BP PIM3 Lucky Star X5X. Here the code BP represents the Betor. PIM3 indicates the track and race. X5X denotes a $5 wager to place. No wager is made on the win or show positions. This is the FBI code book for beeper codes for horse betting. Hot dogs and pizza? It's far-fetched. 772111. The code 772 is the identity of the customer inquiring about the price of 1 ounce of cocaine. The code 007 is the identity of the seller, and the price for 1 ounce is $1,150. This is just more coded illusion, mumbo-jumbo, conspiracy theory crap from the FBI handbook on codes. As you can see, we definitely debunked. We did a lot of debunking. But to be fair, everything we debunked was already thinly evidenced or unevidenced. We did a good job handling the facts. It's pretty good. We can wrap it up. Good 5-hour session out of the 10-page stupid-ass article. Probably spent 3 times longer than this guy took to write it. Dickhead. So that's it. I don't know what to make of the Wayfair thing. Someone posted a picture of Ghislaine Maxwell with Benjamin whoever, some guy that's supposed to be from Wayfair, and it looks like that's a hoax. That kind of shit's mad annoying. All the hoax shit is annoying. But who knows who's putting that hoax shit out there? It'd be interesting to see what they do with this Ghislaine Maxwell thing. I think they get one flagrant one, the suicide of Jeffrey Epstein. It'll really be, if they suicide Ghislaine Maxwell, that'll be really something to watch. Prediction, they'll probably do it, and they'll probably get away with it, and it will probably be not mentioned in a year from now. What's the takeaway? Same as always, man. Get some money. Get a legal firearm for self-defense purposes. Try to get some. Try to work your way towards getting some land. Get the fuck away from a city. Get out of the cities. And don't. This is entertainment, okay? Don't go into 3 a.m. smoking cigarettes, chain smoking, trying to tear yourself to pieces over this. I'll reiterate what I said from the video that we recorded but haven't released yet, which is that, when I first stumbled upon this stuff, I really went full psycho, just looking into every aspect of it and stressing out, and try to get over. If you're new to this, try to get over that phase as quickly as possible. You got to have a gallows humor sensibility when you're dealing with this. Sense of humor goes a long way. Don't let it consume you. Try to make some money. I would like to end the video now, but I will say one more thing, 'cause this is important. I think the coronavirus stuff, I do not understand why the economy is still afloat. I think there was some statistic I heard that was in July, 1/3 of renters failed to make their rent payment. I think we're probably headed for some crazy ass shit economically. If you could, it would behoove you to figure out some way to scrape together $5,000 or $10,000 right now, even if it's take out some credit card debt that you're not going to pay back or whatever. But get some dry powder to make a play. And I don't know what that play is. I have most of my shit is in Bitcoin. I have some Ethereum and Chainlink and all that shit, but it's mostly in Bitcoin. Probably buy some silver and probably just keep as much cash as possible in case there's a stock market crash. I would like, it would be wonderful if there were a massive correction and I could get some Tesla stock or some whatever stock at a reasonable price, because everything is so crazy overbought right now, and I don't understand how the stock market keeps going up. But I have heard people say that it's going to keep going up, and if Biden gets elected, it'll even keep going up even more because of the lax money policy. But very serious there. Now is the time. To there's going to be a play coming, and I don't know what the play is. I'm not Houdini, okay? I'm not fucking the Wario Man. I'm not Rasputin when it comes to predicting which thing is which. But I do know that there's going to be some real volatile stuff on the way in terms of the economy. You are going to want 5, 10,000, whatever you can scrape together. Right now, do not buy a house, do not buy a new car, do not spend money on diamond bracelets and whatnot. Scrape together the money, have some dry powder so that you can do something when it's time to do something. Start looking into for yourself what the thing to do is, but definitely do not be buying altcoins, fucking A. And don't try that day trading Forex bullshit either. Just look at, try to figure out what, if a crash comes, what's going to plummet in value but not tank completely during the crash. Be there to pick it up. Be there to pick it up at a 10-to-1 discount. Be lucky. Now's the time to be lucky. All right, y'all. Peace. Sam Hyde out.